How did Reginae know her father was famous, or when did she notice? Now, Reginae did an interview with both her parents, Lil Wayne and Toya, and it was phenomenal. Now, first of all, that's your pops, right? So you gotta imagine your dad is somebody you talk to on a regular basis and somebody that protects you ultimately. So how do you tell your child, hey, I'm Lil Wayne? I'm sure she's probably like, you're my dad. Like, what you talking about? So it was cool that they asked her that, because the one thing she said was it wasn't until the award shows and then people's reaction when you perform. And then I was like, oh, so my dad is somebody big. Okay.
When did you first realize your daddy was more than just your daddy? Like, he was the Lil Wayne. Like, when did you realize that moment?
I would say the award shows. The carpet, red carpets, everybody always like, as soon as we get out the cars, everybody's like, oh, Lil Wayne. Da, da, da. And I see him interviewing, then I see him performing too. So I'm like, oh, this is somebody. This is the go. This is somebody serious. Hold on.
Right.
Who my daddy is.
And I thought that was just so special, because I don't think that's something that people tend to think about, right? We just think, oh, you're famous, your family's famous, you know you're famous. But no, these are regular people. At some point, she was a child and she had to learn, like, hey, I'm in a celebrity family. This has to be one of the best interviews I've ever seen. And I think it's the connection, it's the dynamic between it, right? So you're talking to somebody who knows you better than you know yourself. Two people who know you better than you know yourself.
Guys raised me to always have my head on my shoulder and know who I am. So I knew how to operate with people that was fake.
Tell a substitute teacher story.
Y'all. I had a substitute teacher who, okay, so my uncle was in jail and he called me and I answered the phone and she didn't like that, but we were watching a movie. Mm-hmm. So at the end, she wanted me to stay behind class and I'm like, I'm not staying behind class. So I went like past her a little bit, but she was blocking the door. I touched her, like I grazed her like side right here. She said, oh, you touched me, I'm suing.
No.
Literally. Mama, you remember that.
That is freaking
She literally was like, oh, I'm suing. I said, I didn't even touch this lady, though. Literally. Like, that's when I knew, like, okay, I'm a little different. Like, that's when I said my hands are registered.
Yeah. Yo, that is so insane to me. So to go to the extent of I'm going to sue you, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's when you know you lit. That's when you know you got money, because that's crazy. I'm pretty sure there's so many other things that a substitute teacher could have sued for before, but was like, no, I'm not going to spend the time, the money, etc. But because of who she is, she's like, no, I'm suing. So I thought that was a unique story. And I also want to talk about the fact of having like fake versus real friends, because that's true, right? You already know you're famous, so people are going to gravitate towards you. They want to be your friend, they want to be around you. And it was so interesting when she said when she was younger, she would ask for money from her pops so she could go give everybody lunch, like feed people lunch. I would have thought the total opposite, because I always think when you got money, you're trying to hold on to the money and probably keep it, I don't know, for generational wealth or something like that. But it just shows how big her heart is.
And then I kind of had this phase where I would go to school and like pay for everybody lunch and do crazy stuff.
Remember that?
Yeah, you remember I took the money.
So she told you to pay for a new playground. Yeah. She called you, Daddy, can you pay for a new playground at the school? And remember, you used to give her them stacks of money, and she used to
and I used to take them to school and pay for everybody lunch. Like, honestly, but I always knew.
You used to take that to school?
Yes, the girl took the money to school one day, and I didn't even know.
And paid for everybody lunch.
And the school called me like, Reginae have a lot of money. Like, I don't know if you guys know. I was like, what in the world? Why would you take that money to school? Because you know when you gave her the money, she was like, my daddy gave me it.
And that is so important. Seeing her on reality TV and the comments on social media, a lot of times growing up, mind you, she was a kid growing up on TV, so you know you're gonna get the backlash, you're gonna get everything. But people would say like she was super spoiled, or she was a brat, or this or that. And little did we know, the whole time she was giving money to people so that they can eat. So now that just goes to show you cannot judge people. You can't judge people because you don't really know. You just know what you see and what they edit and what they let you see, but you don't really know what's going on. So I like the fact that Reginae like really opened up. If Lil Wayne was my pops and he gave me a handful of money, I don't think I naturally would have thought to feed the people at school. Like, I don't think I would have. So that shows who she is as a person. And I think overall, the way that they interact with each other is so special, because you gotta realize Toya and Lil Wayne, they were not together.
Obviously, your dad and I didn't stay together. How would you say us, getting a divorce affected you?
I was so young, and it really. I was so young, so it really didn't affect me much. I was sad. I mean, yeah. But the older I got, y'all co-parented so well and so good. Y'all did that. Like, it was like, it never affected me to a way it was like, dang, I don't see my parents, or I want my parents together. I've always spent a time with my mom, spent time with my dad. Like, y'all did that co-parenting stuff.
That is so rare. There's so many people that did not grow up with their parents together, and they cannot say the same thing. Like, shout out to Lil Wayne and Toya for that, because even with them talking, you wouldn't even know they're not together, just because they're so cordial. It's such a good vibe. There's no animosity, and they laughing and they joking because they remember certain things about Reginae growing up, whether or not she had to spend time with them separate or whether it was together. They each have their own memories, and they each have like fun stories to share with each other. And that's what family is all about. It doesn't matter how much money you have. That family dynamic, that family relationship goes across the board. You need those memories, some time spent together, whether it's watching movies, whether it's cooking, whether it's classroom stories, prom stories, dating stories, all of that. This is the interview y'all need to watch. Lil Wayne is a legend, you already know. And not to mention, and I love that they brought this up, Reginae said to her mother, you didn't stay in the shadow as Lil Wayne's ex-girlfriend or this. No, you made your own lane. You were known for something other than being in a relationship. And I think that is so important, just to show how Reginae got to be around her father, who's a legend, awesome dad, and how Toya over there decided to just be that wonderful mother, always classy, and telling her daughter, no, be classy no matter what. Don't worry about what people gotta say. And they both was on that same type of time. So make sure y'all tune into that interview. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of this interview, because I want to know.